Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Kakeiso with TGN.TV, and this is the World of Warcraft Mage show on TGN, the TV network on YouTube. Today, guys, I'm bringing you another Mage video, this time comparing Mage PvE specs in Outlands. Remember, if you like this video, to subscribe to the show. Don't forget to head over to my channel and subscribe if you haven't already. Since my last Mage video, I've gained about 50 levels and have made it into Outlands. Currently my Mage is level 62, and for the purpose of this video, I ran through Hellfire Ramparts for all 3 specs, just to keep the damage done and DPS a little bit more accurate for comparison. So starting off with Frost. Frost is known for its greatness in the PvP world, however, in the PvE world, it's not the same. At an AoE point of view, Frost has a lot of abilities, like, Blizzard, Cone of Cold, Frost Nova, Freeze with your Water Elemental. That can manage the AoE damage pretty well. The only downside is having to do those on almost every pull drains your mana substantially. I had to evocate around 3 or 4 times in one Ramparts run just to keep my mana up. When doing single target fights, Frost does fairly well. Popping Icy Veins, your Mirror Image, and getting those lucky Frostfire Bolt procs can be a great benefit to your DPS. Also, knowing the survivability of Frost, it can be a pretty good advantage if some pulls go horribly wrong, you need to get out of there and survive, stuff like that. Moving on to Fire. Unlike Frost, Fire can bring a ton of AoE damage to the table, yet remain at a healthy mana pool throughout the instance. Using an instant Flame Strike, Blast Wave, and Dragon's Breath is plenty to get you in the 1 to 2k DPS range. Looking at single target, Fire Mages can still do a lot of damage. Throwing in the Fireballs, Fire Blasts, and not to mention the Pyroblast procs can really put the Mage in damage. I've noticed the Pyroblast procs don't really play a huge part of the single target DPS, but it's still nice to look at them. It's a fucking big ass ball of fire flying through the air. Let's get serious here. Fire doesn't have the survivability like Frost, although being spec'd into improved Scorch and Firestarter will allow you to cast Scorch while moving, costing no mana, giving you mobility and something else to use besides your wand if you run out of mana. Lastly is Arcane. This was my first time playing Arcane in 50 levels, and I was pretty surprised. I've had absolutely no mana issues with this spec, however the damage wasn't the same compared to Fire or Frost at this level. For AoE, all I used was Flame Strike and then continued my single target rotation. This wasn't as effective, but it still kept me in the 800 to 1000 DPS range. For single target damage, it wasn't that bad, it was okay, but it could have been better in my opinion. Arcane Barrage and Arcane Missiles were my primary spells. I tried to use Arcane Blast, but it was fine, but at 4 stacks it wasn't worth it to burn the mana for. I would say Arcane brings a lot of utility to yourself, with Focus Magic, Mana Shield, knockbacks, blink improvements, reduced cooldowns, group buffs, and gaining spell power from mana gems. With those, there is a lot to work with. Overall, I would say, leave Frost for the ass raping in PvP. That's where it's supposed to be. Even if you spec'd into Enduring Winter, I think you'd still be evocating for the rest of your life. Fire, on the other hand, I prefer. It's easy to adapt to and easy to do great amounts of AoE damage. Just be sure to allow the tank to gain threat before you bring the pain, or you could be corpse running for the rest of your life. Lastly, I feel Arcane has a lot of potential later on in the levels, as Arcane power will be in my talent tree and activated, and it will hopefully put a great boost towards the single target DPS. Do you guys have a preferred PvE spec for mages? If so, leave it in the comments below and explain why. I could be wrong with some of the stuff, you leave your feedback below. I want to hear what you guys have to say. I'm an experiencing mage, so I'm working my way up to 85 and learning the tactics and stuff like that. Before I wrap up this video, I want to mention that I will be joining this Together to the Top madness that's going on YouTube right now. If you subscribe to the show and my channel and favorite this video, you could be in my channel box and have a shout out in my next video with a few kind words attached to it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Peace.